Certainly, it's the only thing to do now.
Dignified silence seemed to produce an unpleasant effect.
A most distasteful one.
But we will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have just one question I would like to say to you. Much depends on your reply.
Instead, as your common sense is invaluable, Mr. Moncrief kindly answer me the following question. Why did you pretend to be my guardian brother?
In order that I might have the opportunity of meeting you?
That certainly seems a satisfactory explanation, is it not?
Yes, dear, you believe it.
No, I don't. That doesn't affect the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of great importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for having a brother? Is it not that you may come to town as often as possible to see him?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the greatest doubts on the subject, but I intend to crush them. Now is not the moment for German scepticism. Their explanations do seem quite satisfactory, especially Mr. Worthing's. His demeanour seems to have a stamp of truth upon it.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief has to say. His voice alone inspires me with absolute credulity.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. No, I mean no.
True, I have forgotten there are principles at stake here that one cannot surrender. Which one of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not both speak at the same time?
An excellent idea. I nearly always speak at the same time as other people.
Will you put time from me? Certainly. Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier, that is all.
Our Christian names? Is that all? But we are doing two Chris's this afternoon.
For me, you're prepared to do this terrible thing.
I am.
Oh, please, me, you're ready to face this fearful ordeal?
I am.
Oh, how absurd to talk of the equality of the sexes. When it comes to matters of self-sacrifice, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are. Ah!
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Oh, darling.
Darling!
Lady Bracknell! What does this mean?
I'm engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Come here. Sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young, of physical weakness in the old. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin, I followed her at once by a luggage train. Her unhappy father is, I'm glad to say, under the impression that she is attending a more than usually lengthy lecture by the University Extension Scheme on the influence of a permanent income on thought. I do not propose to undeceive him. Indeed, I have never undeceived him on any question. I would consider it wrong. You will clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment. On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to Gwendolyn, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. And now, as regards Algernon. Algernon!
Yes, Uncle Mister?
May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
Oh, Bunbury. Bunbury does not live there. Bunbury is somewhere else at present. In fact, Bunbury is dead.
Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Oh, I killed him this afternoon. I mean, what was his name? Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Bunbury, he was quite
Explosives? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity.
What I mean to say, Uncle Mister, is that Bunbury was found out. The doctors found out that Bunbury could not live. That's what I mean to say. And so Bunbury died.
He seems to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. I am glad, however, that he made up his mind at the last to some definite course of action. Acted under proper medical advice. Now that we have got rid of Mr. Bunbury, may I ask, Mr. Worthing, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding? seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner.
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I'm engaged to be married to Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon.
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know if there is anything peculiarly exciting in the air in this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seems to me peculiarly above the average that statistics have laid down for our guidance. I think perhaps a few preliminary inquiries might not be out of place on my part. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations? I merely desire information. Until yesterday, I was unaware that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, Gervais Park, Dorking, Surrey, and the Spalding, Fifeshire, NB.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspire confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have kept the court guide from the period, Lady Bracknell. They are open for your inspection.
I have no strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's solicitors are Messrs. Markby, and Markby.
Markby. A firm of the very highest position of their profession. Indeed, I'm told that one of Mr. Markby's is occasionally to be found at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
Very kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I have also kept certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, whooping cough, vaccination, registration, confirmation, and the measles, both the English and the German variety.
A life crowded with incident, I see. Though perhaps somewhat too exciting for a young girl. I am not myself in favour of premature experience. Gwendolen, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I had better ask if Miss Cardew has any little fortune.
Around £130,000. And in the funds. That is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell. So pleased to have seen you.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £130,000. And in the funds. Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady, now that I look at her. Few girls of the present age have any of the solid qualities, the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of surfaces. Come here. Pretty child. Your dress is sadly simple, and your hair is almost as nature might have left it. But we can soon alter all that. A thoroughly experienced French maid produces a really marvellous result in a very brief space of time. I remember recommending one to young Lady Lancing, and after 3 months, her own husband did not know her.
After 6 months, nobody knew her.
Kindly turn around. No, the side view is what I require. Ah, quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The 2 weak points in our age are its want of principle and its want of profile. The chin a little higher, dear. Style largely depends on the way the chin is worn. They are worn very high just at present. Algernon.
Yes, Aunt Augusta?
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cecily is the sweetest, dearest, prettiest girl in the world, and I couldn't give you 2 minutes about the social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. My dear, you must clearly be aware that Algernon has nothing but his debts to depend upon. But I've never approved of mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind. But I never dreamed for a moment of allowing that to stand in my way. Well, I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The wedding, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
To speak frankly, I am not in favour of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character, which I think is never a good idea.
I beg your pardon, Lady Bracknell, but I'm afraid, Miss Cardew cannot marry without my consent. And that consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say, ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing, but he looks everything. What more could one desire?
Pains me very much to have to speak to you frankly about your nephew, Lady Bracknell, but I fear he is untrustworthy. I do not approve of his moral character.
My nephew, untrustworthy. Impossible, sir. He is an Oxonian.
I fear there can be no doubt about it. Whilst I was away in business on the important business of romance, he gained admission to my house under the false pretense of being my brother. And I've just been informed by my butler that he drank an entire pint bottle of my Perrier Jouet 89 wine, which I was specifically reserving for myself. Across the afternoon, he then alienated the affections of my only ward. He then stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. And what makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he knew from the first that I had no brother, that I've never had a brother, and I do not intend to have a brother of any kind. I specifically told him so yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I have decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct with you.
Let me generous of you, Lady Bracknell, but my mind is unalterable. I decline to give my consent.
Come here, dear child. How old are you, dear?
Well, I'm really only 18, but I always have been to 20 at evening parties.
You are perfectly right in making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should ever be quite accurate about her age. It looks so captivating. 18, but admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it will not be very long before you are of age, and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I really don't think your guardian's consent is, after all, a matter of any importance.
Pray, excuse me for interrupting you again, Lady Bracknell, but according to the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew doesn't come of age until she is 35.
That does not seem to me to be a grave objection. London society is full of women of the very highest birth who have, of their own free choice, remained 35 for a year. Lady Dumbledon is an instance in point. To my knowledge, she has been 35 ever since she arrived at the age of 40, and that was many years ago now. I see no reason why our dear Cecily should not be even more attractive at the age you mention than she is present. There will be a large accumulation of property.
Algie, could you wait for me until I was 35?
Of course I could, Cecily. No, I could.
Yes, I felt it instinctively, but I couldn't wait all that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. It always makes me rather cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know, but I do appreciate punctuality and others in waiting. Even to be married is quite out of the question.
Well, what are we to do then, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrief.
My dear Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait until she is 35, a remark which I'm bound to say seems to me to display a certain impatient nature. I would beg of you to reconsider your decision.
My dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. If you agree to my marriage to Gwendolyn, then I shall certainly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Then a passionate celibacy is all that any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny I propose for Gwendolyn. Algernon, of course, may choose for himself. Come, Gwendolyn. We have missed 5, if not 6 trains already. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
Christening, sir.
a desire for an immediate baptism.
At their age, the idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized. I will not have these excesses. Lord Bracknell will be highly dismayed to learn that this is the way you waste your time and money.
Am I to understand there are to be no christenings today? As it stands, Dr. Tadpole, there'll be much practical value to either of us. I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They savour of the heretical views espoused by the Anabaptists, views that I have refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. However, as your mood seems so peculiarly secular, I shall return to the church at once. In fact, I have been informed by the pew opener that for the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I am on my way to meet her.
Pray allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove to be of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies. A very picture of respectability.
It is obviously the same person. May I ask what position she holds in your household?
I am celibate, madam. Lady Bracknell, Miss Prism has been, for the last 4 years, Miss Cardew's governor and constant companion.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approaches. She's nigh.
I've been waiting for you at the vestry, dear Canon. I've been waiting for you there for over an hour. 3 quarters. Prism! Come here, Prism. Prism, where is that baby? 28 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Bracknell's house, number 104, Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, through the elaborate investigations of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was discovered at midnight in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of a 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality. But the baby was not there. Prism, where is that baby?
Lady Lady, I admit some shame. I do not. I only wish that I did. The plain facts of the case are these.
It has stopped.
I wish you would arrive at some conclusion.
Oh, the suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
Miss Prison, is this the handbag that you can put the infant in? Examine it carefully before you answer. The happiness of one's normal life depends on it.
Seems to be mine. Yes, here is the injury received at the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Here is the stain in the lining it received at the explosion of a temperance beverage, an incident which occurred at, Leamington. Yes, at Leamington. And here, on the lock, my initials. I had forgotten that, in a somewhat extravagant mood, I'd had them placed there. The pen is undoubtedly mine. It's so pleasing to have it so unexpectedly returned to me. It's been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
Oh, Miss Prison, more is restored to you than the handbag. I was the baby you placed in it. You? Yes, Mother!
Mr. Wilde, I am unmarried.
Unmarried? I do not deny that is a blow. But who can cast a stone against one who has suffered? Surely an act of repentance should wipe out acts of folly. Mother, I forgive you!
Mr. Wilde, there has been a slight error. There is the woman who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive, but would you mind informing me who I am?
I'm afraid the news I have to give you may not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently Algernon's elder brother.
Alger's elder brother? Then I had a brother after all. Cecily, how did you ever doubt that I had a brother? Miss Prison, my unfortunate younger brother. Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate younger brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate younger brother. You come stand round, you not treated me like a brother at all. You'd be better in the future.
Oh, not until today, I must admit, sir. I did try, though it was a little out of practice.
Oh, my own. But to what end are you? What is your Christian name now you've become someone else?
Oh, my goodness. That better be cleared up. Your mind on the matter hasn't changed.
I never change, except in my affections.
And what a noble nature you have.
Not Augusta. Before Miss Prison put me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, was lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
Then I was christened, that is settled. But what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Yes. But what was my father's Christian name?
I cannot for the present recall what the general's Christian name was, but I have no doubt he had one. He was an eccentric, I admit, but that was in later years, and as a result of the Indian climate and marriage and indigestion and other things of that kind.
Algie, can't you remember what father's Christian name was?
I'm afraid we were never on speaking terms, old boy. He died before I was here long.
His name would appear in the army list of the time.
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life. But I have no doubt that his name would appear in any of the military records.
The army list for the last 40 years are here. These books should be my constant study. Generals. Malcolm, Maxbone, Maglin, oh, what ghastly names they have. Markby, Nixby, Mobbs, Moncrief, Lieutenant Colonel, General. Christian name. jump. Oh, Gwendolyn, I told you my name was Earnest. I mean, it really is Earnest. It naturally is Earnest.
Oh, my own Ernest. I knew from the start you could have no other name.
Oh, Gwendolyn, it comes as quite a surprise for a man to suddenly realise he's been speaking the truth his entire life. Can you forgive me?
I can, but I feel you're sure to change.
Oh, my it wasn't. Oh, Letitia.
Frederick.
At last!
Gwendolyn, at last!
Many seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I now realise the vital importance of being earnest.
Yes.